Now for the final step of the actual ref sheet, we're going to apply a bit of formatting. This is usually the last step when making a spreadsheet because the functionality is more important than the looks. First, we use a monospace font for MP commands to make them really feel like commands. I also disable grid lines, which you can disable under the view and then grid lines. The grid lines are basically default borders that show everywhere unless you turn them off, and turning them off gives you a clean look with no borders. Enable it, disable it, try out yourself if you prefer the look. I personally definitely do. Then we use conditional formatting to change the color of the map itself depending on the mod of the map. We use the starts with condition and then the 2-letter mod combination. I apply that range to the map pool on the left side, the picked maps and the bands. Use the add another rule button at the bottom of the conditional formatting menu to make it easier to enter many similar rules for conditional formatting at once. And finally, the colors I'm using are just personal preference, feel free to change them as you like. I also surround all box groups. A box group for me is something I separate with the dark blue border. I surround all box groups with a thick white border. This is personal preference, use whatever style fits you best, and use Ctrl, Shift and click and drag to select multiple ranges at once so you can apply one action to the ranges you need. Then in some of the box groups there are certain things that you want to separate from the other things. For example, the first pick drop down or the stage drop down, which I separate with a dotted border. Then I also change the font color to match the dark blue color of the border. Really isn't that important, it's just personal preference. I also cover the player names and the score at the top in blue and red. I use conditional formatting for coloring the pick order as well, so they change dynamically with the first pick. You have to use a custom formula for the conditional formatting because you're referencing another cell to determine the cell's color. And I used an AND function to make sure we don't want to color anything in if the first pick is empty. What I also forgot in the match result was to add in the win by default condition, so I'm implementing it right now. Additionally, I insert the match ID as mentioned earlier. Also adding the map bonus column to the conditional formatting for the players in red and blue. And as usual, make sure to test your features. Then I use conditional formatting for picked and banned maps. I use a COUNTIF function to check if a value, in this case the map label, to check if the map label is in a certain range, in this case either the map picks or in the bands depending on what I want to color. And I use partially absolute references to make the green and red cover not only the map label itself but also the MP map and MP mod commands as well, so it fills the entire row. You do that by column locking the reference you want to check against, in this case the map label. Now for this we have to use a custom formula, because we would reference another range to determine if a cell should be colored or not. Now that the pick highlighting is working, we'll just do the same for bands. Additionally to the colors of the pick order, we also want to color in the tiebreaker in a nice gray color, just like we did on the left side. Then we finalize the current score. I add a new condition. So when the match is finished, I want to show a win message with the name of the winning player. So it would be something like, congratulations to blah 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 for winning the match, or something like that. Feel free to customize. The condition for winning a match is when one player has reached more than half of the current best of. I'm just copying the condition from the match results so I don't have to type it out twice. And finally, after we've done all of the formatting and we're content with everything and we've double checked each formula and if it works correctly or not, we remove all test values from the template sheet to make it ready for script testing later on. I mean, yeah, I did forget to remove the first pick, but shh. Well, we've come a pretty long way, and we're pretty much done with the spreadsheet section. All that's left to do is the script section. The script episode is going to be longer than the other episodes, and I haven't recorded any of the voiceover for it yet, and school started last week, so there's less time to do stuff. Maybe expect a week or two for the final episode, so please be patient. If you really can't wait for the script episode and want to use the ref sheet as is, then that's perfectly fine. All you have to do for every match is duplicate the template sheet, change the map ID in the top left, change the sheet name, and you should be good to go. Thank you a lot for watching, and see you next time.